Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakak Wadash Barakatham. Shalom Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakak Wadash Barakatham. I just wanted to share a quick testimony with you all. Well, I don't know what to call it. If it's since women can't have testimonies, whatever it will be called, a MONY. I don't know. But I had to come and share this faith booster. Okay, I'll just call it a faith booster. This faith booster with the body. The water Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So last month, what's this? This July. Time of June. Time is flying by. Well, April 26th, I had a car accident. And someone hit me. Someone hit me on my front passenger side, right? Close to the front passenger side, next to my wheel, and it pushed my bumper and the front of my car to the driver's side of the car, front driver's side of the car. I'm saying that specifically for a reason, right? So, of course, we contact our insurance, do everything that, the necessary, go through the necessary process, exchanging information, police report, so on and so forth. Well, I contact my insurance, repairs are made, everything. I come with the collision place that I took my truck to. They keep in contact through text message with you to keep you updated throughout the week as they progress with the repairs. So my truck gets done. She tells me, okay, first she's like, she calls me by my name and whatnot. She says, repairs should be done basically within a month or so, right? And I'll put pictures of screenshots of everything in the video so you can follow along. However, I was like, dang, so my truck gonna be gone for like a whole month. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to, And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. She said, we're gonna get these repairs done and whatnot. So, get my rental car, going on about my day. Literally, my truck is done within literally a week. Like, it was supposed to be a period over a period of like almost 3 weeks of them fixing my truck, but they fixed it 2 weeks early. So I get a text message.
Salakia, I'm going to go back to that, but I do want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushai B'Hashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, who taught us this truth, and just right quick, she's going into a testimony, and you really get the point if you watch till the end. So I'm encouraging you all to listen, to her full testimony. It's an amazing testimony and definitely a faith booster. So definitely listen to her testimony to the end. I'm going back to it.
Hey, Ms. Smith. Wanted to update you, let you know that your truck will be done today. You can pick it up by tomorrow, so on and so forth. So I'm like, what? I was like, you're that early? I'm saying the water Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai was like, great, so I picked my truck up. But like 3 days later, I noticed, because I don't be out and about a lot. So about 3 days later, I'm like, what's that sound? So I turn my lesson down, and I'm hearing, like, when I turn to the left, I turn to the right, I'm hearing like this clicking, popping kind of sound. It's not really loud, but I can hear it. It's noticeable. Like, what is that? So I contact them, let them know, send them the message. Hey, I'm hearing my truck. It's sounding like this. It's sounding like that. Can I bring it back in so y'all can have a look at it? Let you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, sure. Bring the truck in. Did that. The point of the matter is, it was a lot of trying to give me the runaround, and I can read people so well instantly. I'm like, see, what they're not about to do is give me the runaround. See, what you already done did, insurance done already paid you almost $10,000 to fix these damages, right? So we gonna fix these damages. And not only that, there's a warranty on it that this collision place, if there's anything that happens to your vehicle pertaining to the accident and the damages that were repaired, they will repair those. They will do repairs on it again, if something was to happen. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I need y'all to listen. So they gave me this runaround. Oh, well, take it over here because this is the person that we use for that. And the woman was like, well, the only thing I didn't check for was to see if there was a wheel, if you needed a wheel alignment. So right then and there, I was already feeling like, okay, see, number one, you told me my truck was going to be done within 3 weeks. Okay. It was done within a week. I'm grateful that it was done fast, but it seems like you guys did a rush job. You just pretty much put a Band-Aid on the front, ordered the repairs, made it look good on the outside, but you didn't do a thorough check on my truck. You didn't investigate it thoroughly, and that's what you get paid for, right? So, I was upset about that because I'm like, okay. She was like, well, I can take it to our guy, or you can take it up there in the morning, and I'll just let him know you'll be there between 9 and 10, and he'll have him look at it, and then he'll check for the wheel alignment, do your wheel alignment. So it was a lot of guessing, and I'm not about to allow my truck to be a guinea pig for y'all to guesstimate anything, because my husband pays pretty good money for my truck and his car, so monthly. So I was like, I'll just take it myself. So the first strike was, I get there between 9 and 10. She had never even told the man that I was coming. Number two, he told me it's first come, first serve, and they open at 7:30. So there was no way he was going to even be able to get me in that morning when I came. So I'm already feeling a type of way about that. Like, okay, I'm not about to do this runaround stuff. Then before that, when she told me to go to this specific wheel alignment glass place, she told me that I should ask for a guy by the name of AJ, which lets me know that there's a personal relationship. So AJ's your go-to guy. Like, you trying to hook AJ up with a couple of coins to fix my vehicle, and then like AJ will be the one to be like, he'll downplay it so y'all don't have to pay. I'm already reading between all of that, right? So I'm like, yeah, no. So when I got there, AJ was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna, if you come tomorrow at 7:30, we open up at 7:30. It's really first come, first basis. And I told AJ just like this. I said, listen, AJ, I appreciate you telling me that. I will bring my vehicle back tomorrow. However, I drove down here today, so I'm gonna need you to get in the car with me, and we're gonna go around the corner drive so we can see what this sound like. I didn't come up here for nothing. So he got in the car with me. We went in, he did a little test drive. He heard what we were talking about.
So like again, this is something, I want to say this. This is something I learned as a kid, because my father was a mechanic. And matter of fact, he worked for one of the local school districts, as lead mechanic, fixing the buses for the school district. And he was so good at what he did to where any bus that he couldn't fix, they had to junk it, because they knew that if he couldn't fix it, if my father couldn't fix it, then it was not worth anything anymore. That's how good my father was at his mechanic work. So and throughout the years, I learned, that these places, the insurance companies, mechanics, they will try to take advantage of women because of the fact that they know that women are, to an extent, docile. And most of all, women are docile. Just simply dumb. Just being honest. But see, now you're dealing with a woman who the Lord has protected, and she's been given the spirit of discernment. She can see when these people are getting out of line. Or she can see when these people are just simply, like she said, giving her the runaround, And obviously she's dealing with a man of the Lord, so call Allah Yahweh Sham Yahweh for that, And so she had the spirit of discernment, and she knew how to actually deal with this, even as being a woman, Now, scriptures say we suffer not a woman to teach. She's just giving a testimony. Okay? She's not trying to teach or nothing like that. Okay? So I don't, and I'm saying that because I don't want brothers to look at this the wrong way. Check out the testimony. It's about 22 minutes long. I'll chime in here and out, but listen to the testimony. It's a very powerful testimony, and she says some things that honestly need to be heard. So, continuing on.
He heard what I was talking about, and he was like, yeah. He looks under the truck. He's like, I don't see anything with the physical eye, but I do hear what you're talking about. So he don't even know what it is, but then he's kind of hinting around to what it actually really is. My struts, right? The front struts, my left and my right, and then some other things. So long story short, I come back the next morning. I'm there at 7:30 on the dot, and he takes my truck, him and another guy. They do the same thing that he did the day before with me. And he comes back and just tells me the same thing. He was like, well, it's really not on Gerber, It's these insurance companies and this is that and the other. And I told him, I said, this, what I'm here for this morning, AJ, this has absolutely nothing to do with the insurance company. The insurance company is going to check off whether or not who is liable for what, and they're going to pay the collision place for whatever repairs that or damages that need to be repaired. This has absolutely nothing to do with my insurance. It has everything to do with Gerber's neglect of doing a thorough inspection of my truck prior to just fixing what they physically saw. They were supposed to go in and do a thorough inspection of my truck.
And see, this shows you that she has the spirit of discernment. The Lord is working with this woman, obviously. Because she's able to stay humble. She's able to stay calm. If you just listen to the way she speaks, she still got the Eve attitude, And of course, that ain't gonna go nowhere. That ain't gonna leave the Eve woman. You know what I'm saying? They're subject to that, pretty much. But the way she's talking, yeah, she still has that Eve attitude, but she knew how to be humble and let them know, and be smart enough to let them know, hey, no, this ain't gonna work. It ain't about the insurance. The insurance already took care of its part. It's about the people that the insurance paid. You know what I'm saying? So, just listen to the story, the testimony, and we'll continue.
That has nothing to do with insurance. I said, now that they've gotten paid by the insurance, I'm looking like, hey, who's going to pay for doing what needs to really be done due to the accident? So he was like, yeah, well, you're out. I said, well, look, don't worry about it, because I'm not going to get the runaround. I'm not going to be going back and forth, letting y'all tell me, like, playing me like a ping pong. You figure out what you and Gerber got to do regarding my vehicle. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to leave here now. I'm going to take my truck to Kia, because that's the only place I take my truck to anyway. For anything that needs to be done, I'd rather take it to where I bought my truck, because they know that truck best while y'all trying to figure stuff out. So he must have called her. I know he did, because before I can even get my daughters in the car seat to pull off, I got a text message from the collision place. Oh, we're going to reach out to, USAA and let him, the specialist, to let him know, and this is that and the other. And I'm like, okay. I ignored the text message. I never responded. I take my truck to Kia. I let them know what's going on. I told them this is the sound that I'm hearing. They heard it, sat there for 3 hours that morning. They did a thorough inspection of my truck, and it came up with what I've inserted here. They gave me an invoice and told me it was absolutely due to the accident. Not only that, my husband and I take very good care of our vehicles. Our oil changes, tire rotation, everything. We go get all of that done at Kia. So, prior to this accident, if my struts were messed up, Kia would already have, they would already have that logged in. Okay. So, long story short, I'm grateful. How about you, outside? So he's awesome. So, they were trying to.
And so ultimately, the Lord gave her the spirit to be humble, you know, yet not to fall for the okie doke, you know. And this is why this testimony is so powerful to me, and should be to you as well, because Esau is constantly bringing out okie dokes. You know, I mean, he's basically a bunch of gaslighting, you know, just telling us this, telling us that, you know, and it never works out in our favor. Even when it seems like it's gonna work out in our favor, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? See, this testimony is bigger than just her car getting fixed. You know, this is how Esau deals. You know what I'm saying? This is how they deal. These big insurance companies, these banks, and all that, this is how they deal. And this is just a regular mechanic shop, you know, that she took her car to get repaired. And they even with trying to give her the okie doke, because they believe that she's a woman. Like she said, she decided to take her car down herself. You know, they believe that they like, okay, she's a woman. Hey, we can get over on her. We can just patch it up, put a band-aid on it, you know, and it'll look good to her, you know. And by the time she realizes some problems, it'll be too late for her to come back to us for repairs. And they tried everything they could to avoid repairing her vehicle the right way, which the insurance company did pay them to do. You know what I'm saying? So, what scripture do I want to get right now? I feel like I gotta get a scripture. I know. Anytime we talk about these damn Edomites, we can always go to Obadiah. Definitely. And it's just one chapter, but it says a lot. Let me see if that's the one I want. No, you know what? No, it's not what I want. Bear with me. Aki. Wa atwat. Akwat. Psalm 58, chapter 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. They go astray as soon as they be born. Speaking lies. Man, look here. These people there's no truth in these people. Okay? Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they are the serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. You know, just basically put your hands over your ear. You know what I'm saying? Just say, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be as cut in pieces. Oh man, what was that scripture? Because I just went into this into camp. It's a great precept to this. Oh man. Oh god, 47. Well, I gotta go through all this, but it's not okay. I'm gonna find this scripture, y'all. Give me a second. See if I can narrow it down a little bit. I gotta get the scriptures to lock you. And we're gonna go back to her testimony. Okay. It was another one. No, it was another one. They came up with the same scripture I just pulled out, but it's another one. Trying something else here. I mean, because ultimately, hey, these Edomites are just being found out to be liars with everything that they do, you know. Yeah, I think that's it. 2nd Ezra 16 and 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." Now let's go back to this scripture that I had. This is Psalms chapter 58. What verse was I at? Verse 7, "Let them melt away as waters which run continually." I'm going to start it again. At verse 6, "Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out their great teeth of the break out the great teeth of the young lions. O Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces." Verse 8, "As a snail which melted, let every one of them pass away like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun." And see, Esau's losing his power right now. He's losing his power. Okay? And it's showing through his whole building system. The whole system that he built is losing power. You know what I'm saying? Even the insurance companies, they're and the mechanic places, all this crap. You see it through her testimony. He's losing his power. Okay? because people are waking up. Revelation 11:11. You know, it said the great bodies, the dead bodies, spirit of life will be given unto the dead bodies, and they will wake up. No matter of fact, let's get it. And then we're going to go back to that in 2nd Ezra. But let me get this right quick. Revelation 11:11. And it seems, I know I'm all over the place, but I got to get this point off. Revelation 11:11, after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of God entered into them, and they that stood upon their feet. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay? Great fear fell upon them which saw them. Esau is afraid now that this truth has come out. See, these people didn't know how to deal with this woman because the Lord is dealing with this woman. They can't deal with her. You know what I'm saying? They can't get over on her like they're used to doing to women or dumb people. Even men have been in that predicament. I myself in some past times. You know what I'm saying? But see, the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with this woman. And they couldn't get over on her. Esau is losing his power. They're losing their power, man. This is the time to keep faith, because the Lord is actually showing himself. The Lord is showing himself. So, like we just read, for strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay, and see, that also goes into the nuclear missiles, of course, because the arrows represent missiles, But we're talking about the Lord's right hand right here, and this is speaking of Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah intervened with this woman. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. Yahweh Shah intervened in this woman's situation. It was unrighteous what they were doing to her. But apparently, she's a righteous woman. So Yahweh Shah intervened and made these devils do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to hear that in the rest of the testimony. I'm going to go back to it. Salaki, I had to make sure I get some scriptures.
To give me a runaround. Then the USAA man that agent that is over, the specialist, he's supposed to be the specialist, over collisions that's out here in my region, he was trying to give me the runaround as well. So instead of contacting me and letting me know anything, he contacted Gerber. Okay, no. So Kia, when I was there that day, she was the lady that I dealt with. She was like, this has everything to do with the accident. Absolutely does. We deal with Gerber. I'll just reach out to Gerber myself for you, and then I will email them over this invoice of what all still needs to be done. She also told me that she was like, this is, this between me and you, because I deal with her when I go in there. She's like, this between me and you. I know what they did. What they did was your truck should have been, the damages don't look that bad according to the pictures, y'all, but it was. She was saying that over $10,000, they would have had to have total, it would have been what is it called? My truck would have been totaled, right? But they wanted to get the money, so they kept it right under $10,000, and they didn't fix or log in those repairs that needed to be done because it would have put them at $13,000. It would have put them at $13,000, and it would have been, they would have to total out my truck, and they would have never got any money because they would have never had to, they wouldn't have been able to repair it if it's total, right? So they wanted to get paid for my truck. All right, so she sends that information over to Gerber. I contact Gerber the next day. No, Gerber contacts me that evening, that afternoon, and asks me if the young lady actually sent the email. So I was like, okay, now they playing, because I know the lady sent that email. I said, yeah, I'll reach back out to her. She was gone for the day. I spoke with her manager. He said that he would send it, so he sent the email out. I know this is a while, y'all, but this is good. This is good. So he sends the email back to the collision place, Gerber Collision. And then so she hits me up the next day, the following day, which is that Friday, and she tells me, "Hey, Miss Smith, I got the email. The USAA specialist was out when I sent him a message. I left him a message though, but I more than likely won't hear from him until Tuesday because Memorial Day was Monday." So long story short, come Tuesday, I'm in contact with USAA, and they're saying they're not going to take care of it. So I said, oh no, y'all gonna take care of it. We pay for this. No, there needs to be more research. There needs to be a thorough research. I was on them literally weekly on them. I'm very patient, being very patient, even though I wasn't patient. I was livid. I was feeling it in the flesh. I'm not gonna even play about it. So, the lady who I deal with from USAA, that was actually my claims adjuster. She was she had a beautiful spirit. I could tell that she was doing everything that she could. So I ended up speaking with her manager, who was above her. He said that that wasn't his level of expertise, but he was going to expedite it. He was going to be on the forefront of it. He was going to try to make sure that our needs were met, get down to the bottom of everything, have everything fixed. Dragging it out whole 2-3 weeks. Here we are. Yesterday, I get my phone call from my claims adjuster. Sorry, Miss Smith, I'm so sorry. I did everything that I could do, and they're saying that the so-called specialist is saying that this absolutely had nothing to do with the accident. There's no way that your struts could have, on both sides, could have been messed up due to the accident. This is another, and I told her straight up like this. I said, listen, I appreciate everything that it is that you've done for me, but he's absolutely not a specialist. My truck was not making any noises whatsoever previously previous to the accident. It was never anything, no sounds whatsoever before this accident happened. It absolutely has to do with this accident. So I told her, I just let her know. I was like, listen, we're going to take our services elsewhere, and we will no longer be, insured with USAA. I want you to know that. I said, I appreciate everything that it is that you've done for me, your professionalism, your compassion, all of that. You were very thorough. I appreciate you communicating and keeping me up to date as much as you have. I just want to let you know we will no longer be with USAA. I will be shopping this week. And I got off the phone with her. But before I got off the phone with her, she asked me if I wanted that man, the so-called specialist, if I wanted his information. I said, you can send it over to me. But I'm in the middle of doing something with my hands. I don't have a pen to where I can write, anything down. Can you just send me an email? So she sent me an email, and I have that inserted as well, stating that this man told her that this had absolutely nothing to do with it. USAA will not be taking care of my vehicle. Okay. So last night, Yahweh Shimmy Yahushai, I was talking to Yahweh Shimmy Yahushai. I took me a bath. I was in there for a while. And most know that my prayer closet is my bathroom. And that window, I'm always praying out my window.
And I do want y'all to listen to this, because this is where the testimony literally, really, really gets real. Okay, so listen to it.
So I took my bath, and as I was getting out, the Spirit was like, open the window. So I opened up my window, and as soon as I opened up my window, legs, feet, everything still in the I call them like Bashim Yahushai. Legs, feet still in the tub. I'm literally leaning on the window pane, lifting up the window, y'all. And the Spirit said, look out. I look out, I see a fleet of chariots out the window. Brakatha Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I hopped out that water so fast. I hopped out that water so fast, I went running through the house. Screaming for my husband to try to come cast it.
Man, I gotta say, the Lord has his way of showing up and letting you know when you're in situations. The Lord has his way of showing up and letting you know that, hey, don't worry about it. I already got it taken care of. It's already taken care of. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that faith. We have to believe that. Ultimately, Yahweh's blood was shed so that we can live according to faith, not according to our works. Because if we lived according to the works of the laws, trying to keep the laws, we'd all been doomed by now. But the Lord had a plan, and through his plan, we can all be saved. So a lot of things come out in this testimony. That's why I want you to continue listening to it. But I do have to chime in every now and then. Just let's get back to it.
Jared, so he can come see him. But call him like, how about Shem Yahushai? I said, Lord, I don't know what you about to do, but you about to do something so favorable. I just knew it. And taking into consideration what I was prepping for today. And with a couple of my close sisters. So long story short, y'all, I had my prayer time in that window with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So much activity last night with the chariots just active. And I was like, Lord, I know you ain't gonna leave me out here like this, And I was praying and I was like, Lord, I want to be a part of multiple miracles, Lord. I want to witness some multiple miracles during Jacob's trouble, leading up to Jacob's trouble. That's where my mind was with the miracles, right? And I told you how about Shem Yahushai, I was like, Lord, whatever it is, I don't understand, I don't know why, you allowed this to happen to where like these people ain't taking care of this, but it was on my spirit. I mentioned that during my prayer. I was like, but I know it's for a reason, so I didn't even question it. As mad as I was about it, I wasn't like pouting about it. I just like really kind of like let it go. So this morning I woke up to use the restroom. I looked at my clock. It was literally 4:44. I used the restroom. Spirit said, open the window. I opened the window again this time. Some Spirit said, do it. So I open up the window and it's this bright.
And 444 means mercy. Mercy. The Lord is going to have mercy on us in these days, man. The Lord is having mercy on us. You might be, I know myself, I'm around people who really don't believe. But I'm stuck to be around these people and still try to keep my belief. Still try to keep my belief in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And the water Yahweh Hashem Yahushai forgive me the strength to do so. And I don't plan on letting go of what I believe. I don't plan on letting go of my faith. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about. That's why I say it's so much that comes out of her testimony. You know what I'm saying? It's more to it than just her getting her car fixed. You know what I'm saying? This is Yahweh by show me how it should work. And we can't forget that. And you got to believe that he's going to work for you as well. Right now. And all the way through the end. We got to believe that. We got to keep that faith. I'm going to get a scripture on that. But let's go back and listen to her testimony. She's almost done.
Bright chair is so big, like it's never been that bright before. I never noticed it to be that big and that bright. And it was so many other chariots out there. And I ended up standing in my window again for almost a whole hour. I heard my husband get up to use the restroom. And then, so I got back in the bed. Y'all, I get a text message this morning. I have it inserted as well. A text message to my phone saying, Miss Smith, USAA approved your repairs for your trucks. I've ordered your part for your truck. I've ordered your parts, and I will let you know when they come in so that you can get them fixed. Now I'm like, huh? So I'm thinking that I'm like, is this general? Like, I didn't realize it was from Kia. I thought it was from Gerber Collision, and
So basically, the insurance company that denied her repairs, denied to pay for her repairs, changed their mind and decided to pay for her repairs. You see what I'm saying? This is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai at work. And obviously, this story being true, if it's true, and I believe it is, obviously her husband is a man of the Lord. You know? And I mean, she's calling on the right names. You know what I'm saying? And he more than likely gave her permission to do this video. You know, because again, we suffer not women to teach, or women don't speak that much, but the Lord does give women dreams and testimonies, for them to speak. They're not prophets or prophetesses, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that word is, they're not that. And she's obviously one who recognizes it, because she didn't call herself a prophet or anything of the such, but she's given her testimony. And if you've been listening, hey, it's a mighty testimony here.
I'm like, okay, don't play with me, because I already know the people said they ain't doing nothing. They not going to do nothing. I already told people I'm leaving the insurance. I told them all of that. So I'm thinking this is Gerber Collision contacting me, but I'm like, why they contacting me with saying that the repairs is, and I'm looking, it was like 2 different text messages. I'm like, is their system regenerating old text messages that they sent me? So I sent them a message. I screenshotted it and sent them a message, and I asked, I was like, is this did you generate this? Well, how would I say? I want to say it the way I said it. Shoot. I said, I just got this text today. I said, I just got this message today. Was this generated by mistake? And then I screenshotted it after the fact. No, I get a phone call after that, and it's from Kia. And I recognized the voice. She was like, Miss Smith. And I was like, hey. I was like, it's my boo. And she was like, yeah. And I said her name. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I said, I just got a text from Gerber. She said, that was me. She said, that's why I just called you, because I was like, no, I wanted you to know that's me. That was me. No, USAA has approved your repairs. I ordered your parts, and when they come in, you can bring your truck in and get it fixed. Call Halayim Lai Hawashim Yawashai Bashim Rakakwadash. Y'all, that is a miracle. Literally, pray for miracles. I'm associating them miracles to manifest during Jacob's trouble on my behalf as lifting up a standard. But do you know Yahweh Bashim Yahawashai was testing all along? This has been over a month drawn out to get my truck these repairs fixed. Brakata Yahweh Bashim Yahawashai. This woman was like, no, I was testing all along. This has been over a month drawn out to get my truck these repairs fixed. Brakata Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. This woman was like, no, I came and it was on my desk this morning when I came in that those repairs, they approved your repairs. Brakata Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, y'all. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will continue. Can't nobody tell me nothing about our power, man. Can't nobody tell me firsthand. I know. Firsthand, we know. It may not be a big deal to most people, but
and see, I love that faith. I'm gonna get this scripture and I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me let her finish talking, and then I'm gonna get. I think it's Hebrews 11:1 that I want. But we'll see. I'm gonna look it up. Let her finish talking. She ain't got much more time.
It's a big deal to me, because who coming out the pocket with $3 extra $1,000? Who got that type of money to fix some struts? I'll be pop locking and dropping it up and down the street when I'm driving. We take good care of our stuff. We work hard for our stuff. not putting, all our love into, material things, but like, if you know that you pay good. I know my husband works very hard for everything. Who got time to be coming out the pocket with $3,000 because you didn't do a thorough inspection of a truck and everybody looking around like, we didn't do it, I didn't do it, or you gonna take care of it? Absolutely not. How about Shem Yahweh had our backs, and I'm so grateful. And I just had to share this. I had to share my MONY with y'all because it's technically not a testimony, but it's a MONY. It's a faith booster to continue to trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, no matter what it looks or seems like, no matter what nobody tells you. Believe the report of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. They will not leave nor forsake us. And that is another thing that I have, another faith booster under the notch, to where when things are inside, it's just hitting the fan during Jacob's trouble, he gonna come through like that just for us. So I pray that this was a faith booster to the hopeful elect, and this is, the sincere elect, the sincere and hopeful elect, and just trust me, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, y'all. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakodash Barakatah Shalom.
And I gotta say, because she mentioned a MONY. Now, and I've never done this, but let me see what the word MONY means. Because I want to show you this video from an old song, but I want to find out what it means. Let's see. A status. In the Latin, it says a status, a role or function, matrimony, testimony, or a personal quality or kind of behavior. Okay, so this is a testimony that she's given. She calls it her MONY. I like that, and reason why I just gotta go to this. I just gotta pull this video up and let you hear a little bit of it. And these look like some Edomites, but I believe them to be Jakes. Give me a second.
This must be the most popular iSmartwatch on the market right now. With it, there's no need to prick your finger for blood sugar test.
And it's a good feeling, just knowing that Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is on our side. You know what I'm saying? We get testimonies. Like I always say, we have testimonies behind these names. Okay? So it's important to call on the names of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That woman did that, and she had a testimony behind it. We have a testimony behind it, because it's a good feeling that we get. That's that MONY. That's that MONY. Okay? Like he said in the song, yeah, she give me love and it feels so good now. You know, it just feels good to know that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is on our side. We ain't worried about this world, man. We know what's coming to this world. We know what's coming to America, Babylon the Great. We ain't worried about it. But we get a good feeling because we know that society, this world is against us. Because we preach Yahweh Shai. Because we, excuse me. Because we preach Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, this world is against us. You know what I'm saying? But see, the Lord gives us those monies. You know what I'm saying? He'll give us a money every now and then. It's just like, hey, I still got you. You know? And it's just something to feel good about. You know? Because other than that, we're in the house of mourning. We're in the house of mourning. Because we, as opposed to other people, are going through it. But we know we're going through it because it's making us stronger. You know what I'm saying? For the days that are to come. Okay? That's what made this testimony so strong to me. You know what I'm saying? So, I encourage all you brothers to just, hey, keep your faith. All you brothers and sisters that's sincerely in this truth, keep your faith. You know what I'm saying? Keep your faith. Okay? Because that's all we got. Keep and when I say keep your faith, that means keep your faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Continue to call on those names. Continue to pray to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Continue to pray to those names. Continue to give praises to those names. Okay? And I'm going to end it right there. I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Shalom.